America is at a crossroads. We're living through a moment where the very structure of our democracy is being reshaped, not by the will of the people, but by legislation that claims to protect elections while quietly undermining the rights of millions of citizens. So tonight, we want to talk plainly, clear, and factually about the SAVE Act, what it is, what it claims to do, and why it is fundamentally wrong for America. This isn't about partisanship. This isn't about left versus right. This is about the integrity of our democracy, the rights of American citizens, and the dangerous precedent this legislation sets. So by the end of this show tonight, you'll understand exactly why the SAVE Act is not just unnecessary, but harmful, destabilizing, and deeply un-American. So let's go to work.
Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to America Unfiltered. Overseer Ron. I'm looking at a nation. No spin, no filter. Just the truth. I'm looking at a nation. Standing at a crossroads. People chasing dreams while carrying heavy loads. Prices going up, paychecks staying low. Everybody asking where the middle class go. Turn on the TV, hear the same old fight. Left versus right, every single night. But out in the streets where the real folks live, people need solutions, not another negative. Working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Trying to put food on the family table to eat. Is the dream fading, or is it still alive? Yeah. America Unfiltered. Let's tell the truth tonight. We're talking about what people need. Small town factories closing down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show on this Wednesday night. I am your host, Overseer Ron. I am fortunate to be joined by my brother from another mother, Mr. X, all the way out in Dallas, Texas. How you doing on tonight?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. I'm thankful for you being able to jump on tonight so that we can discuss this subject. The SAVE Act. It seems like every time we look around, the old song used to say, if it ain't one thing, what?
It's another.
It's enough. So that's what it seemed like with what's going on in the world right now, in this country, right? And we can say the world too, as a matter of fact. But if it ain't one thing, it's another. Now we're looking at the SAVE Act, right? The SAVE, we're gonna talk about that tonight. And the people that's been supporting this after tonight, and they listen to this show, they might have a change of heart and a change of mind, because the SAVE Act is not good. We're going to explain why it's not good for America. The SAVE Act is short for Safeguard America Voter Eligibility Act. It is marketed as a simple common sense measure to ensure only citizens vote. Now that sounds reasonable. No, it sounds patriotic. It sounds like something everyone should support. But here's the truth. Non-citizen voting in federal elections is already illegal, Mr. X. It's already illegal.
Yes, it
It has
is.
been illegal. It has been illegal for decades. And states already have verification systems in place. So multiple studies, audit, and investigations on the both Republican and Democratic administration have found no evidence of widespread non-citizen voting. So if the problem doesn't exist, why create a law to solve it, Mr. X? if we don't have a problem, why are they trying to create a law to solve a problem if there's no problem exists? What would be your opinion on why they putting so much emphasis on this SAVE Act, in which is already illegal for illegals to vote. And then also you must have ID when you go to the polls.
Yep.
So why we spending so much time, money, and effort on this foolishness? Can you help me?
I believe it's part of the it's an arm of the illegal immigration crackdown to dissuade folks that who are illegal in this country from getting fraudulent documentation to vote. I think that's part of it. It's part of again the crackdown on illegal immigration. It's an arm of that. It's not the whole
So,
shebang, but it's an arm of that.
okay, so haven't they already cracked down? There's no
Yeah, I think.
evidence that
Yeah.
there's no evidence that they are claiming that illegals are voting in election. That's
Yeah,
a
well,
false claim.
the system has a lot of checks and balances and redundancy that if you were to probably try to even vote with fraudulent documentation, you would be soon quickly discovered and probably arrested. That stuff
Yes,
is already in place.
right. So what I discovered is this: the SAVE Act is not about stopping non-citizens from voting. It's about making it harder for American citizens to vote.
Mm.
Okay, now let me show you what they're trying to do.
All
They're trying
right,
to
let's
make it
go.
harder. All right, they're trying to make it harder for American citizens to vote. Now, number one thing is add new documentation requirements that millions of Americans do not currently have.
Mm.
Now, look at this. The SAVE Act demands specific forms of citizenship proof.
Right.
Documents many Americans either do not possess or cannot easily access. Okay, now what you talking about? You talking about passports? You talking about them producing their birth certificate? It's nonsense. How come
Right.
the driver license is not enough? All right.
Correct.
In all these years, your driver license has been enough for
Yep.
you to be able to go to the poll and vote. Now
Yep.
they're talking about birth certificates. All right, they're talking about passports. Now, how many people have? I have a passport, but how many people in America really own or have in their possession a passport?
There's a large number of people that don't have a passport.
That don't even have a passport, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
sometimes people have a problem of even locating their birth certificate. So you're gonna have to tell them
Yeah.
they have to take the birth certificate to the
Yeah.
poll.
Yeah. Very
This
few.
what
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
so this what this is doing. This is making it harder for already citizens to vote. Okay,
I
look
mean,
who this will affect: senior citizens, rural Americans, low income citizens, Native Americans, younger voters, veterans, people born in states with incomplete historical records. Right? Some people what look at this. What about some people have been in natural disasters,
lost everything.
hurricane, lost everything.
Right.
Now, what if they can't simply come up with all these different documentation?
Yeah. That would
So,
disqualify them.
so you would deny them the chance to vote, and they are American citizens? Something wrong. and who supports it? This is something that Donald Trump is pushing. Is all the Republicans supporting this?
I would think not. Not all. But quite a few are.
Yeah, but I mean, this makes no sense. And he holding up he won't pass certain bills because of if he can't get the SAVE Act done. It's but see, going back to what we was talking about, Project 2025 They said it was gonna make it harder for even Americans to vote. People disregarded prior to 2025. They already told you what they were gonna do when they got in office. It already spelled out what they was gonna do. They didn't hide it. Now this makes no sense. And see, the SAVE Act, what it does, it overrides state election systems. The SAVE Act federalizes voter verification in a way that strips states of flexibility and control. So now they're going to take over the states.
That's going to cause a lot of lawsuits to be filed
It's going to
right away.
cause a lot of lawsuits to be filed. Don't you think it creates also delays that will purge legitimate voters?
Yes, it could.
It would just so come election night. If they pass this, but they say it's going to be dead on arrival in the Senate if the House do pass it. But come election night, we could be looking at some delays across the country in voting. Is this not the president's objective in the first place? To stir up chaos on election night because he's afraid that he's going to lose the House and the Senate. Is that what he's trying to do?
I guess part of his base are gullible enough to fall for that and believe that. Just
Right.
to stir up, just to create false flags, as I call them. And to feed on people's paranoia, especially those closed-minded people.
Yes.
Because everything is in place already that checks and verifies your that you are you when you go to the polling station, and you really you only need really two pieces at best: your driver's license and maybe a social security card. Just those two pieces have always been the standard for verifying who you are when it comes to jobs, opening an account at a financial institution. That's pretty much always required. Just those two.
Yes.
That's it. Nothing else.
Yes. So what it does, as you said, it weaponizes fear to justify voter suppression. It weaponizes, they're putting fear in everybody, right? Oh, illegal people voting, non-citizens voting everywhere. But the thing is, it's not supported by any evidence from either party. There's
Given
no evidence.
Given the last few months of ICE cracking down on illegal immigrants and whatnot, I don't think that they would even if they had fraudulent documentation, they wouldn't now with the environment and seeing what you saw on television and the newspapers and the internet of people getting rounded up and captured and deported. Nobody who knows that they're carrying fraudulent paperwork documentation would dare go to the polls because the fear is so high that you'll be caught and quickly deported. Yes. Just the imagery alone that we've seen in the last months, that's enough to scare any fraudster. They're not going to do that.
Yes.
They're not going to risk it. It's too risky.
It's too risky.
Yeah, too risky.
Yeah.
In the past, I'm sure if someone wanted to, a few people might have slipped through the cracks, but it was a minuscule number. Yeah. And you're taking a big chance. Even back then, before the election of President Trump, you did that. You get caught, you're going to jail.
Yes.
So no.
Okay. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to always talk about we need to take our country back. But this is true. I mean, that's a true saying right now.
Yeah.
We need to take our country back. This is not the America that you and I and our foreparents and everybody. This is not the same America. This what we going through now. It is foolishness at its best. It's petty and it's very unpatriotic. No, instead of bringing the country together, it's dividing the country. And this is well anyway. America has seen this before. Think about it. Every time America expands voting rights, a counter movement emerges to restrict them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time voter rights is being expanded, they use something. They counter with something to restrict. Right? Then we see it after Reconstruction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was at its worst.
Don't let it worse. Then we see it after the Civil Rights Movement. They was upset.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then we see it after the Voting Rights Act. They moved to try to do everything to pass different laws. Even now, they trying voter suppression right now. This is what all these tactics are. Voter suppression. And what they're trying to hit African American communities. That's who will be affected by it the most. Is it not true?
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense because African American community are, again, they're citizens. They have all their paperwork.
Yes.
So I don't, they have their
But
paperwork.
remember what we're
Most,
saying.
yeah.
They're trying to make it harder for American citizens already to vote. That's
All I
what
have
we're
to
saying.
all I have to say is this: that just the African Americans, because I'm not going to speak to other groups. They have to figure out how to counter this themselves. But the African Americans, black folk in general, I would get ahead of the game, and if you can, or a family member who is lacking certain extra um, documentation, to go on ahead and get it right now. Just go on again and get it, just to have it. Save it in multiple areas. Save it in your phone. Save it in your email. Save it in your cloud. And just don't give them a reasonable opportunity to deny you. Get your documentation now. Don't wait to the last minute. Birth certificates, I know they're hard, but you have time right now. If you don't have one, you can get yours. Get that. You already have your social security card, your driver's license. Those of us that are voter age and whatnot, that's standard. You keep those around you in your wallet, in your purse. That's standard. But the extra stuff like a birth certificate, if that's the case, get that out the way. It takes a little while, but you have time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't always jump ahead of the game. African Americans have always been innovative, and when it comes to traps and pitfalls that this country has set for them, they've learned to maneuver and go around and be one or two steps ahead. So
Mm-hmm.
this is no different. We've always been the target. So we have the experience, the history, and the know how to combat this uneven system that we live in. So let's do what we do when faced with adversity. Let's black it up. Do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Those other groups can't speak for them.
So I think we talked about it a few minutes ago, but we said that what they're doing is trying to invent a threat.
Right.
Right? amplify the fear, propose a solution that restrict. That's what they're trying to do. Really restrict voting. That's what they're trying to do. Restrict voting.
That would
Claim.
cause mass protests, mass violence, and mass rioting all across the country. I don't think
Mm-hmm,
I don't think they're ready for what would happen if they actually did that.
mm-hmm.
You're talking
Uh,
about, especially you're talking about the cities, the rural areas. That would be catastrophic. They
yes.
that would probably end up with politicians being actually charged with sedition, actually going against the very fabric of the country, and you could probably see him actually being jailed for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm. So they call
So
it. They claim it's about security, but it's really about suppression. It's really about voter suppression. That's what they're really trying to do.
right,
But they trying to say, well, make sure our elections are secure. They are already secure.
you already have security. When either party wins, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
We, we have fair elections. Our system works.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a small-minded person who carries a grudge sitting in the Oval Office, he doesn't take to losing easily, so he makes up all of these scenarios. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now even before the election has come, whether he doesn't know if he's going to win or lose, he's already setting the table for
Mm-hmm.
doubts and
Mm-hmm.
disunity, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and distrust. So that's the type of fanaticism you have going on right now.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask
But
you, Mr. X, is this a fact or a myth? Non-citizen voting in fair elections is already illegal. Fact or myth?
no, it's already it's illegal. It's a fact. It's
That's a
illegal
fact.
to yes.
All right.
You can't
Facts
vote
or
if you
myth?
can't vote if you're not a citizen. You can't vote.
Right. Fact or myth? A myth. States already verify citizenship.
Yes,
That's a fact. Okay. Fact or myth? Investigation consistently show rates near zero when you start talking about illegal people voting.
yeah,
That's a that's a fact.
yeah.
Okay. Multiple federal agencies, including DHS, DOJ, and the Election Assistance Commission, have found no evidence of widespread non-citizen voting.
It's true.
That's a fact.
Right.
So,
This is the thing.
yeah.
You have wickedly wise people that know if they say something long enough and repeat it long enough, eventually it'll stick to some people as fact,
Mm-hmm.
even though there's not a plethora of truth to it. You say it long enough and say it with a believable face, before long, some people will accept it as truth, as fact. That's the long
Mm-hmm.
game. That's what they're playing at.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then when you look at isolated cases anyway,
Right.
that
No,
happens,
no system is no
it's
system is
rare.
perfect. Yes, rare,
Yeah.
but no
Yeah.
system is perfect. You gotta have a few
Uh,
slips here and there, but no system is perfect.
yeah. It's accidental. It's immediately caught and immediately prosecuted. So I don't
Yeah.
understand this nonsense with
And
this
again,
same act.
you have
That's
both parties. Both parties. You have monitors from both parties
at the
at
election site.
at the polling stations,
Yes.
monitoring and keeping an eye on things. And if a polling agent were to be caught doing that for whatever reason, money or bribe, they face federal time in prison. Come on, man. Nobody's gonna work. Risk that. Come
Yes.
on.
So in reality, The SAVE Act is not responding to a real problem.
It's one.
It's really
It's
it's
creating a problem.
creating it's creating a problem. They're not responding to a problem. It's creating one. So I mean, when did we see? I can't recall. I mean, I haven't been here that long, but in American history, when have we ever seen a president that wants to stir up so much chaos around election, in which the Republicans won everything last time, but still talking about some election fraud? Well, did they steal the election? They won everything last time, right? Have we ever seen that?
Like I said, their game plan is to say it enough, and if you say it enough, it'll become fact to some or most.
Okay, who get hurt by this SAVE Act? Who get hurt? Veterans get hurt because veterans don't have immediate. A lot of veterans don't have immediate access to birth certificates or passport. Even veterans. The SAVE Act will force them to navigate new bureaucratic hurdles. Right? It will. Senior citizens means that older Americans born at home in rural areas or in hospitals that no longer exist. Their records are incomplete or missing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to hurt them. Native Americans, tribal IDs are not accepted under the SAVE Act. Right? This is a direct attack on Native Americans voting. What about
when you look at it?
America?
When you look at it, it looks like they only want white Anglo-Saxon Protestant individuals to vote, and of a certain stature, because, like you said, you have rural America is made up of this same demographic, but they're looking for a certain demographic, and now that demographic in a certain income bracket to vote. That's what it appears to be. Going back to the days when only rich Caucasian men, not only white Caucasian men, but they were only landowners could vote.
Rural Americans. Rural American access to government office is limited. Young voters, many do not yet have passport or certified birth record. Americans, as we said, affected by natural disasters, lost, fires, hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods, and what about low-income Americans? Obtaining documents costs money. Money many do not have. Do you know that? I don't know how much birth certificate is now, about $20. Don't you know how many people don't have money to just go and just give them at the health department $20 for the birth certificate? A lot of people don't even have $20 for no birth certificate, right? But that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to stop the American citizens from voting. And this is what I think. But people just, they choosing party over what's right. And I think that any Republican or Democrat to vote for this, I don't think that they should be, I think they should be out of office. This is what I think. I think they should be out of office. Because this don't make no sense. They're wasting people time, right? With this. Trying to suppress voting.
Like I said, this will lead to chaos and calamity on a mass scale. And don't be surprised if you see some politicians being physically attacked in public because of stuff like that and what they voted for.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that it won't come to that.
Mm-hmm.
Still,
Mm-hmm.
I would say not to take the electorate for granted, not to underestimate the
But
lower and middle classes.
don't you think it's designed to create confusion?
Well, confusion, anger, hopelessness for some. You
Yeah,
know,
because you see, when voting becomes harder, fewer people vote. They just say, "Oh, forget about it. I ain't going through all that to go to no poll and vote." Right? That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it harder so people can say, "I'm not doing it. I'm not going there. I don't have all that information that they want." That's what people say. So it's another form of voter suppression without calling it voter suppression, right? So it's
designed
not
designed to frustrate some people.
right. So this is not about per se protecting elections. It is about controlling elections. It's not about protecting, it's about controlling. That's what they're trying to do. That's what he's trying to do, control the election. Okay. So why the SAVE Act is un-American? American strength has always come from expanding democracy, not restricting it. We expanded voting rights to former slaves, women, Native Americans, young adults, people without property, people with disabilities. Every expansion made America stronger. The SAVE Act reverses that progress. It tells millions of citizens, you are American enough to pay taxes, American enough to serve in the military, American enough to contribute to society, but not American enough to vote. So this is un-American, this is unjust, and this is unacceptable. All right? America does not need the SAVE Act. We need secure elections, accessible elections, transparent elections. We need fair elections. We need inclusive elections. We need a democracy that welcomes every eligible citizen, no one that pushes them away. The SAVE Act, I want everybody to hear this: white, black, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian. The SAVE Act is wrong for America because it solves a problem that does not exist by creating a crisis that will harm millions. Our democracy is strongest when every citizen has a voice. So this is what we're saying tonight. We came on tonight to talk about the SAVE Act, how wrong it is for America, okay, how un-American it is. And this is my opinion. Anybody who pushes this kind of foolishness should not be in office, should not be representing the American people, because we have discussed tonight what this is all about. We already have fair elections already. But Mr. X, before we go tonight, I want you to comment on one thing. What's happening in America? You know, we lost one of the best country singers that I think that ever lived. And everybody loves Dolly Parton, right?
That's Dolly Parton.
And Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers sung that song "I Was in the Stream," and that's a very nice song, right? And she have sung a lot of other good music as well. But she passed away on yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The flags was ordered half staff. Now, what do you think about that? The flags were ordered. We love Dolly Parton. All right. She made major contributions, not only to um, country music, but I read about her contributions to they call philanthropy and all of it. But should the American flag at the White House be flown half staff?
Well, like I say, a person of her, stature and what she meant to millions of people, and but you're just a legend, iconic. I
Yes,
don't see the harm because in a way she's all, people like that, they're a national treasure. I mean, you know, you just
okay.
few entertainers that reach that type of, you know, status and
Okay.
like, so I don't, I get what you're saying. She wasn't an elected official or, a former um, president or anything like that, but in some cases, they make exceptions to the private citizens who, contributed a lot, and it's not the first that they've done that for a private citizen. So yeah, it's I don't see a problem with it.
Okay. The only problem that I have, right? In America, they always make everything about race, but this is not race. It's just a fact.
Right,
When the Reverend Jesse Jackson died,
right,
okay, many contributions that he had made to
right.
the African American community, not only African American community, but overseas as well.
Hmm.
He helped free.
Hmm.
Remember, he helped free those
Twice,
hostages.
twice.
Yes, twice.
Yeah,
When they need something done overseas, they will send who? Different
yeah, because
presidents sent Reverend Jesse Jackson. He was a great
yeah,
negotiator,
yeah.
right?
None of those elected officials could do what he did. He actually got service members
He did.
who were captured in military action by
He
by
did.
by a foreign country, got them home safe, but ain't got them yet. That's true.
Yes. But my
Yeah,
question is, when the late Reverend Jesse Jackson died, we don't like to make everything about race,
right,
but this is just where we are.
right,
He was barely acknowledged
right,
at the White House. No
right.
flags were flown half staff. He was barely acknowledged, right?
Well,
But he
like I
made
said,
some
that's
major
a
contributions.
that's there's a lesson in that, and also there's something that we can learn from that as far and on a positive note to let our people know that no matter what you do for this country, it will never to them be enough. A lot of people need to realize that. No matter what you do, I don't care, served in combat, lost a leg, or arm, when it comes to the black man, to them, you'll never measure up. So stop trying. And it's just a fact. And it's a wake up call to some of us who've been lulled into thinking that race doesn't matter and, we've arrived and all that civil rights stuff is unnecessary and we need to bring up that history. That's a lesson to those who've been lulled into a sleep. So let them,
Okay.
let this be a lesson to them.
Well, did they order the flags half staff when the late Congressman John Lewis passed? No, they did not.
No, they did not. Nope. Did they learn him for what's his name that passed? I thought I wasn't even following Lindsey Graham when he passed away 2 weeks ago.
He did. They
Right,
did. They
right.
lowered
So
the
there,
flag.
there you go. That's the evidence right there that people need to understand and be, aware. Situation awareness. Our people of where you stand and where they stand in this country, that will keep you, a lot of us, out of danger and alive. Because a lot of us have been lulled into a false sense of, this and that doesn't matter. It does matter. It always has mattered. So let this be a lesson.
Well, well,
It's not it's not
another
right,
thing, yeah,
but let it be a lesson.
another thing. This is American Unfiltered. We was talking about the save act, but there's different things tonight that we need to talk about as well. I was reading. I've been following also the Florida election.
Hmm.
Okay, online.
Hmm.
The two candidates that's running in Florida. Okay, Congressman Byron Donalds, which we know is an African American. All right. On the Democratic side, you have a former Republican, former independent, David Jolly. I don't know if you've been following this. All right, but I've
Slightly.
read. Okay, Donald, he wants to be accepted. He Republican.
Isn't
Uh,
that the isn't that the governor's race?
yeah, the governor's race.
Governor's race. Yeah.
Yeah, he have done everything to kiss Trump ring. They have said all kind of stuff to kiss Trump ring. But anyway, I was reading online. There was some interviews that some citizens of Florida were saying that this would be their first time voting for a Democrat because they don't want a black governor in Florida, in the state of Florida.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. For people forget, Florida is the South. Florida is
Yes,
Dixie, just like Mississippi, just like Alabama,
Alabama.
just like
Yes,
Georgia, just like that. It's the South. It's just
yes,
on the. It's just a coastal state, but it's still the South, below the
yes.
Mason
Okay,
Dixon line. Yeah,
yes.
you have that
So,
conservative white Christian mindset in full
but
effect
now, but now,
all across the
um,
Bible Belt.
okay, now the Democrats are outnumbered in Florida
Mm-hmm.
to Republicans, right?
Right.
Well, how about now? Jolly holds a lead over Dawes, right? Can you believe this?
Mm.
Majority Republicans is in Florida.
Right.
So in order for Jolly to win, there must be some people staying at home or they crossing over and voting for Democrat.
Mm.
All right. Now what did that speak? What did that speak? I mean, I don't feel sorry for him at all because he forgot where he come from. Okay. I don't feel
Yeah.
sorry for him. I
That,
predicted
that,
him
that,
losing the race anyway.
yeah, that's what you would call his Negro wake up call.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they have to understand that, like I said, no matter what you do, it will never be enough in their eyes. You could be the best lap dog, you know, butt kisser, doesn't matter. And people like him don't get it, but they will get it eventually, like a hard slap in the face. So my
So what
suggestion to folks like him and folks like him, accept your own kind and be yourself.
yes.
As in
Okay.
the words of the great honorable Elijah Muhammad, accept your own and be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only path he has. Success.
Mm. Mm. Okay. And then when you think about um the she running for Senate now in Florida. She won, she beat out Vinderman. Is it Nixon? Okay, did you know that the governor of Florida had her arrested
Yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah,
She wanted
DeSantis.
to. She wanted a meeting which she is allowed to under the law.
Yes.
She's an elected official.
Yes.
But again, these guys pick and choose when the law suits them, when to follow the law. If it's advantageous to them, then you know, it's all good. When it's advantageous also to other people, oh no, we have to come up with a lot of buts and maybes and look for loopholes to halt and alter and trip people up and stuff. So eventually, that same type of dishonest, backstabbing behavior will come back to haunt them.
Yes.
Oh,
But this is what we have going on. Okay. This is what we have going on in America. Uh, we've come a long way, but it still teaches us something, does it not? When we look at the current affairs and what's going on, it still should teach us something. We come a long way, but we still have a long way to go.
yeah.
And see, just because you Donald's go and kiss up to the Republican Party don't mean that he's accepted.
Oh no, we know.
In the
He's not accepted.
yes.
He's not accepted.
So when I'm
Listen,
reading,
let me give you a bit of history.
okay,
As faithful as she was during the Bush administration, Condoleezza Rice,
mm-hmm.
faithful as she was in all the silly stuff she went along with, and all alternative facts that she came up with to be a good team player under the Bush administration, when offered opportunity to run for elected office and stuff, she didn't go for it because she knew that people still see her for her skin color.
Yes,
She realized that no matter how faithful you are, and you go along with their policies and what have you, and you're a yes sir boss. She even realized that.
mm-hmm.
That's one of the main reasons too. With Colin Powell's wife didn't want him to run
Yes,
for elected office because she knew, Alma knew. Yeah, you
yes,
put your life on the line for this country as a lieutenant in the Vietnam War. You got injured, could have been killed. Rose up the ranks as a general, served this country with distinction. Still, that's not enough in their eyes.
they turned
For
on
us,
Colin at the end.
for us, it's more than enough. You did it all. You paid your price in full. But to them, no. So it's a lesson to those others that are watching, that are in those arenas and stuff. Accept your own and be yourself.
Yes,
It will never, ever accept you or give you credit due. Never. Stop hoping
that's
and praying.
that's pretty much what they have told Byron Donalds, and
Yeah.
you have some that's gonna vote for him, but
Well,
when I'm reading online and I'm like, oh no, I'm reading the blogs. I mean, they're just coming out saying it. We're not voting for him.
correct.
We're not
Good.
gonna vote for him.
Good. A
Yeah.
lot of us, a lot of our people need that. Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Just because you
Yeah.
were, I think Byron Donaldson is a child of immigrants from the Caribbean. I think, I'm not sure, but I think.
He is. Yes.
Right. So,
Yes, he
he
is.
might think that offers him some sort of buffer. Yeah, well, I'm black,
Right.
but I'm right now black American. My folks came from the Caribbean. I'm from the
Hmm.
Caribbean, but
Hmm.
I'm not an idiot.
Right.
I'm not a fool.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we wanted to talk about that as well as the Save Act, and I appreciate you jumping on tonight. Last moment notice, and I just wanted to just come on. Um, we winding down now towards election, and we just need to be made aware of all the tactics that they're doing to trying to suppress the vote, trying to scare people from the polls, and we just need to be made aware, and we
Hmm.
need to have boots on the ground, get people out to vote.
Oh
That's
yeah,
going to be the biggest thing. Yeah, the
yeah.
people need to get out and vote
The
because
grassroots is
it's
going to
time.
be the savior of this country.
Yes, yes,
And like
get
I
them to get
say,
out to vote.
our
Yeah.
people, I think a lot of our people are becoming aware of the power that they have, because a lot of them now are being forced to become historians, and they look back at what their ancestors went through and still overcame. They look at this like, well, this is nothing. Look at what they had to go through, and they didn't have
Hmm.
a half of what we have now, and
Hmm.
they still did it.
Hmm.
So with studying yourself and your ancestors, that gives them that extra confidence and boost. To
Hmm.
stare this down, and that's like any other thing they threw at African Americans in this country since they've been here. They've always surprised them and overcame. Did what no other group could have done.
Yeah, but you know what though? You said you made a statement, I think a year or two ago. You said you don't, and I'm really coming to my senses, right? uh, no, I have an independent mind when it comes to voting. But you said something that now it's profound and it's powerful, that we don't automatically think that the Democrats is right, and you should not automatically think that Republican is right. We should hear the parties. We should hear the people, and we should vote who's gonna do what for us.
Right? Give you tangibles,
Yes,
tangibles.
right. And so that's my whole point right now. That's the way I am. But right now, I don't see voting for Republicans. I still listening at the individuals, but it's hard. It's hard now. I like George W. Bush. I like, you know, but now what they're doing now, it's just hard for me to even
Stop
look that
gas.
way.
Stop gaslighting people with eloquent speeches and no type of meat to it. It's just you know don't fall for that.
Mm-hmm.
You want tangibles. What are you going to do for me? And what are you going to do for us as a group? And stop including other groups when we are talking about us with this one
People,
tide. One tide
yeah,
lifts all boats. No, you don't
right.
do that with other groups and include us when it's just for them. You only
Mm-hmm.
expect black people to, be inclusive. No, no, that has to stop.
Well,
No
now let me ask
tangibles,
you.
no vote.
Now let me ask you another question. Out there in your state where you live in, um, I don't know where Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, she's feeling some kind of way about the Democrats. She feel like the Democrats turned on her. You know, me looking at it, I don't live in Texas, but I'm just saying, looking at it, Democratic Party did not turn on her. I don't think that they
No,
turned on
they
her.
didn't. No, they didn't.
Okay, so what was the reason why she lost? I mean,
Her
I'm
her
I'm
her
I'm
her focus was on other than the community that she came from. She was trying to include everybody else. And some of these same people you're trying to include, like the Hispanics and stuff, they weren't going to vote for her.
so
She
with
worried about the wrong thing. Listen to what's going down in the streets, because it's where you're from. You grew up in the neighborhoods. Listen, you weren't listening. You wanted to toe the party line and concentrate on other things that weren't pertinent to the black community. No. Every time you speak, you're using those catchphrases. Minorities, disenfranchised group, disenfranchised community. Those are catchphrases that really mean other people except black people. Black people who are
Mhm.
not aware of them think that they're included in that type of talk. No, you're not. You're talking about
Mhm.
other groups. The
So
Asian, the Hispanic, the Arabs. No.
Okay, let
You
me.
got
Okay, let
that's
me.
what that's
Yeah.
what that's what that's what caused her to lose.
Okay, so why? I mean, he's making some inroads with black votes, but why she's not? She says she'd rather campaign with people on the down ballot.
She'd rather
So
do what? Say again. She'd rather do what?
she campaign. She want to help people on the down ballot. She don't need to help Tellerico.
Oh,
Uh,
oh.
I mean, he's
Huh.
doing well without her. I
Tellerico
mean, she,
Tellerico needs to watch out too, because if he doesn't have any tangibles for African American community, he could be in a race that is going to be a surprise to him too. Like I said, eloquent speeches and all that nonsense is it's not going to fly anymore.
well, he
He made
making.
a
I mean, he
yeah, he's
making
making
some great
inroads,
inroads
but
now.
he's going to have to be exceptional.
Well, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But she's saying that black people is not going. I don't agree with. I just don't agree with her. She said black people would not vote for Tallarico. I don't
Well,
believe that. I mean,
you gotta look at what he stands for and his policies, and if they're in line with what the grassroots and stuff want, and they can hold him to it, they'll vote for him. But
yeah,
he's gonna have to hold himself accountable. It's not the old sing along, shuffle along, come out kissing babies and only coming to speak at your church, and then after the election nobody sees you. Those days are over.
yes,
You know.
yes,
Yeah, those
yes.
days are over. He's gonna have to
But
face some hard questions in front of mixed crowds from um, um, black people in the presence of white people, and you see how he handles that.
well, I think he's gonna win.
Yeah.
I
No.
think the other guy is so bad. That's what's going to propel him to victory because Paxton is just that bad.
But
I mean,
believe you me,
you
in a
talking about
state like
Republicans changing over.
this where you have a lot of Christian fundamental rural folks, they
Yeah,
they don't care. They don't care about that. They really don't care about that. I'm telling you right now, they
they
don't
don't,
care about it. No.
they don't care about Paxton being a bad.
Yeah, that he's an adulterer or whatever comes up, they don't care.
You sure?
Very sure.
I see.
Very
I
sure.
see. Even I see a lot of people in Texas now. Some people do care because
Yeah, I
it's a
mean,
lot
look,
of people. It's a
you
lot
have
of
a
people
few,
in
but
Texas changing
yeah,
over. He's leading in the
yeah,
poll right now.
yeah. You believe
I
me,
mean,
you have a quite a large number that do, but there's a quite a large number that won't.
well, you saw the crowd that Tellerico had in
Yeah.
Paxton's hometown.
Hmm.
In his
Like I say,
hometown, you saw
he has a lot.
he's
He
going.
has a lot going for him. He's young, charismatic, and being handsome. That doesn't hurt. He can pull. He
Yeah,
pulls the crowds, man. You know
yes,
he's like Kennedy esque. He's like a John F. Kennedy. He has that
yes.
aura. Yeah.
So they compare him to Beto, but Beto didn't have the kind of charisma, the
Right. Beto.
crowds.
Beto
Aurora,
was almost was there. Beto almost, but just then, it probably was just wrong timing. But Beto just, I think he scared a lot of people too because he's a pretty sharp guy.
yes.
Yeah.
But if he would have ran now, Beto would have ran against somebody like a Paxton, he would have won. They don't like Paxton. Paxton has some people still gonna vote for him regardless, but I don't think he can win the Senate race. I could be wrong,
I
but
think it's
here's the
gonna be.
thing.
I think it's gonna be a nail biter. It's gonna be close.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Could Jasmine have beat Paxton?
Not not with the way she was talking. She would have to change her whole rhetoric. But if she changed her rhetoric, yeah, folks would turn out for her. Or folks would turn out, but she have to change that rhetoric of all this looking at the other communities and other people and fighting for them. And no, she would have done that.
Okay.
She would have lost,
Okay,
but she would have got beaten handedly.
yeah, let me ask you a question then. Evidently, there were some blacks that voted for Tallarico over Jasmine,
Mm-hmm.
was it not?
Mm-hmm.
Had to be a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of them. Was it
Mm-hmm.
not a whole lot of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
That's
why
a
is she
that's the
blaming the Democratic Party? Well, as a whole, that they did her
I,
wrong. How?
sometimes people to save connections and a relationship that they've built up politically, they're
Yeah.
forced to say the opposite of what really is the issue, just to avoid controversy. You have to
Can
consider that
tell
too.
can Tallarico win Texas without Jasmine? Well,
Yes.
she's not supporting him now.
Yeah, he can. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Like I said, it's going to be a close race. I'm not going to be surprised if he wins. You know, or shot. He can,
Okay. Okay.
and he has the juice. He has that aura. He can win.
And he has the money.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
He has a lot of people pouring into his campaign out there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at it. He got a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of money.
Like I say, he's Kennedy-esque. He has that.
Kennedy.
He has that John F. Kennedy thing.
Yeah, right. I think he win. I think I think
He even resembles Robert Kennedy, John's brother, who was the Attorney General.
yeah.
He even kind of has a resemblance to him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah. So hey,
So I just
dumb.
hope the people don't. I just hope the people decide not to vote. And like I said, he has a lot of Republicans switching over. A
Mm,
lot of the mayors and a lot of the mayors in different towns in Texas is coming out in support of Tallarico.
yeah,
Man,
a lot of them are tired of the bullying tactics they are seeing too, coming from Washington D.C. So this is their response to that. Jumping the party.
well,
Jumping party lines.
come on, high gas prices. No,
Yeah,
Trump asked the black community, well, what have it gotten you voting Democrats? Now we need to ask the people, what have it gotten you voting Republican? Because we
right.
got high gas prices, inflation, we got everything, right? New wars in the what they call the Middle East,
Taking
new
large job layoffs.
large jobs layoff. So what have it gotten you voting for a Republican? Voting for Donald Trump. A lot of people is pissed off and mad right now. They voted for him, and what have it gotten them?
A lot of folks
Nothing.
have
Tax
a lot
cuts
of
for the rich.
a lot of farmers, especially white farmers, who lost their farms and whatnot.
Yes. Yes, what have it gotten them? They still talking about Donald Trump. Lord have mercy. Not everybody now, not all Republicans.
Right. No, not all
it's,
of them.
his poll
Not all of them
numbers
are
are very
brave enough to say that where he can pinpoint who they are. They're not. A lot of them are not brave enough to do that. No, but some are.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Look at that. Look at this. The gentleman in the military who was speaking out against Trump. He's a officer. Can't remember
Yes.
his rank. Is he a captain or major? But they're threatening him with legal action because he was doing it while still in uniform, and it violates some uniform code of justice. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there are a lot of people backing him because he's saying that it's just not constitutionally right, and he's right, but they're trying
He's
to
right.
bring up charges on him. I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name. I was listening to a news broadcast about him earlier today on the radio.
Well, let me ask you another question. I know we're trying to get off here tonight, but so many questions keep coming up.
Mm-hmm.
The House Speaker, Hakeem Jeffries, met with Jared Kushner the other day. What do you think about that? You know how crooked Jared Kushner and Trump and his family. Jared Kushner made so much money off overseas, Saudi Arabia, you name it.
Well, Hakeem,
Hakeem
he's
met with,
trying to
yeah,
he's
what
trying
he trying?
to trying to play that reaching across party lines to garner bipartisan cooperation and stuff. Will it work?
No.
I don't think so, but that's his thing. He's still holding on to that bygone era of reaching across party lines and working with people that you fundamentally have big disagreements with and whatnot. That's his thing.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Republicans been in charge, right? The House, the Senate. Have they tried to reach across the party line to try to compromise or something with
No,
Democrats? No, every vote been down party line pretty much.
no, no.
They have
So I
not
say,
reached out.
yeah, the Democrats need to start learning that method
Tough.
and stop trying to go high. As in
Yes.
the famous words of former First Lady Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. No, when they go low, you go lower and kick them in the nuts.
Yeah.
They're trying to be gentleman-like, and
Yeah.
Republicans are not gentlemen. They
They eating
want to
their
win
words.
by any
Yes.
means necessary. Get
Right.
what they want, and they will trip. They will use every means to trip you up.
Yes. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. So, hey,
Well,
but like I say,
well,
a lot of us need that stiff slap in the face and that wake up call.
yes.
There's some stubborn ones out there.
So this is we coming down to the wire now. This is getting ready to be September.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the elections first Tuesday in November, and I can't
Interesting.
wait. It's going to be very interesting. Very,
A lot of
very
surprises,
interesting.
a lot of tears and heartaches and feelings of betrayal. Look out
Yes.
for all of that in the election.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something. Another question arising now. Have you checked out that senator in Georgia? Also.
Oh, Hasselhoff. Yeah, I remember when he won along with the gentleman Raphael Warnock. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But he's sounding very much. I mean, that's what they need. They need a fighter. He's a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
They keep throwing this Kamala Harris in our face about 2028. Man, that's the biggest joke. Come on, man. We need a fighter, right? They need a fighter to take on the corruption that's been going on. The JD Vances, the Marco Rubio, that whole claim.
Yeah. You want somebody who's going to
We,
answer questions directly when you answer them, not giggle and laugh and
yes,
try to, and try to sidestep the issue with a lot of silly responses and giggling and never answer the question. That
yes,
didn't work for Kamala.
no,
So he knows that. So yeah,
yes,
yes. You want someone who can answer a direct question, whether
and
it's
don't play.
whether the response is politically correct or not.
You know what? I am yet to see Ossoff laugh. I mean, he
Right.
talked.
Yeah. All that,
He's
all that,
straight.
all that cackling and giggling. Nobody
Yeah,
wants that. You look like a fool.
right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
Right?
I've checked him out.
Nobody wants to hear if you grew up and you carried hot sauce in your purse, or
Mm-hmm.
you made
I,
collard greens in a bathtub and all that nonsense. That
yeah,
has nothing to do.
I checked Ossoff out, and I'm also checking out the governor of Kentucky. No, it's gonna take somebody like that. It's gonna take somebody like that to win over both sides. We need a change. We need a change in DC.
They need
You know,
they need someone who was like the former governor of New Jersey, the heavyset guy who was in your face. He didn't back
Chris
down. Chris
Christie.
Christie. Yeah. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't back down.
Mm-hmm.
he could care whether it was politically correct or not with a response. That's what
Mm-hmm.
people like. They like
Mm-hmm.
that cowboy style. You
Mm-hmm.
know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, Gavin Newsom is like that in California, but I don't think he'll win because of condition of California.
Yeah,
California.
he's another guy that's wishy washy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Shot
it's
shot
gonna be
down a
interesting.
he shot down a lot of stuff that were
Yeah.
beneficial to the black population in California. So yeah, I can't sign off for him.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna see.
Yeah. Look
We're
for
gonna see.
betrayals, a lot of
Yes.
unexpected joy, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of anger and tears come that election. Come this
Yeah.
upcoming election.
No, November.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna be a nice show.
Well, all right, Mr. X. We thank you for your time on tonight. Thank you for jumping on.
No problem.
We covered the SAVE Act, and we went on to other things too. But that's all right because it's things that need to be talked about. That's going on in this country and need to be addressed, and people need to be educated.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. We need to use the platform to educate and enlighten people on what's going on.
And none of the old tricks and the old practices are working now.
No,
Those are gone forever.
it's a new age. It's a new day
Mm-hmm.
politics,
Mm-hmm.
and we need some fighters. We need some
Mm-hmm.
people that's gonna stand up, tell the truth, and do what they said they's gonna do. Right? That's what we need. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. Do what you say you're gonna do. Work for the people. That's what we need. People working for America to make it a better place and make our lives better. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, or Independent. If you ain't working to make our lives better, you shouldn't be in Washington, D.C.
Yep. Just to
All
collect a
right?
large paycheck.
Just to
Those days
collect
are
a
over.
large paycheck. All right, Mr. X. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And you be well.
You too. Thank you
All
again.
right. Okay.
America unfiltered. Overseer Ron.